And away from that, moving on, as the 45-day timeline for the consideration, the 8 bills referred to the 2 committees under the NADCO report comes to an end on Friday. The Joint Legal Affairs Committees of the National Assembly and the Senate will on Thursday begin public participation on the IEBC Amendment Bill 2024. The delays in reconstituting the commission has stalled by-elections in several wards and constituencies, leaving the country staring at a possible constitutional crisis. Here is more.
Dated Tuesday, 15th.
The Joint Legal Affairs Committees of the National Assembly and the Senate on Tuesday began laying the framework for their deliberations on the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill. The committee will on Thursday conduct public participation on the bill, hearing submissions from stakeholders including the IEBC, the Attorney General and the Judiciary, among others.
The public reaction that, remember, Chairman, came out after we adjourned our last 2 sessions. There was some reaction to the effect that we don't seem to be committed to deal with the NADCO report and recommendations, which these sessions will allay the fears.
As soon as we finish with the bill, we are going to bring it to the Senate so that you can consider, as you also bring to us the 4 other bills that were to be originated from the Senate.
The bill was one of the 9 referred to the 2 committees with the aim of implementing the recommendations of the National Dialogue Committee report.
This document has enemies from reactionary forces across the political divide, inside and outside Parliament. It requires vigilance.
But I am confident that you had the fortitude, the strength and commitment to make sure that you did the right thing.
As the 45-day timeline for the consideration of the 9 bills comes to an end on Friday, the IEBC remains improperly constituted. Article 892 of the Constitution gives the IEBC a maximum interval of 12 years to review the names and boundaries of constituencies. 67 constituencies ought to have been scrapped after the last review in March 2012, but the deadline lapsed in March this year. The 90-day period for by-elections in Banisa constituency, Mandera County and Kisa East Ward in Kakamega County also collapsed in mid-March 2023. The IEBC is currently under the leadership of its secretariat, led by CEO Marjan Hussein, following the expiry of the term of Chair Wafula Chebukati and Commissioners Abdi Gulie. 3 other commissioners, Juliana Cherera, Justice Nyangwaya, Francis Wanderi, resigned in 2022 after contesting the results of the presidential elections, while Commissioner Irene Masit was removed by a tribunal.
The timelines are set in the Constitution, and we are almost at the upper limit of the timelines, and we do not have a commission that can do delimitation of boundaries as required under the Constitution.
The vacuum continues despite a court order by High Court Judge Mugure Thande directing the IEBC to recruit new commissioners immediately in line with the Constitution. President William Ruto halted the recruitment process in 2023 to allow dialogue between the government and the opposition. The IEBC Amendment Bill seeks to increase the number of members of the election panel from 7 to 9 to accommodate a wide spectrum of stakeholders and interest groups. The NADCO report also recommends a constitutional amendment to extend the constitutional timelines for the limitation of boundaries through a resolution passed by both houses of Parliament. The committees could also recommend a referendum for reports proposals. If the bill is passed, the expanded selection panel will be appointed through a competitive process and will thereafter nominate new commissioners within 90 days of its appointment.
This bill is actually as a result of a negotiated political process. So I don't expect the protagonists who were involved in that to come back and say there's anything wrong with it, unless if there are other members of the public who may feel that we need to say a lot more than we have said.
On Friday, the committee will retreat to prepare its report ahead of the bill's second reading next week. For Special Report, my name is Mesh Msimbi.